Miss Montgomery, she was the former city director of Blexit, which is a far right, we're going to try and get, we're going to try and quote unquote free the plantation mentality is a literal quote of the organization of Black voters. And it's founded by Candace Owens, who's a far right loon. So I just think it's disappointing when C-SPAN, platforms people like Michaelah Montgomery or Sebastian Gorka, or constantly refers to the Washington Examiner or the Washington Times, which are quite literally far-right newspapers that are made up. I mean, the Washington Examiner, go look up who founds them. Next, you're going to be, referring to the Epoch Times. So,
all right, Colin, we'll get a response from Michaelah Montgomery. Go ahead, Michaelah.
First of all, I'm a huge fan of Candace Owens, and I went to my first Blexit event here in Buckhead back in 2019. And the speeches that I heard, the visualizations that were presented to me, I was like, wow, this is great. And when it comes to getting off the Democratic plantation, that's a real thing, and I don't know why somebody would feel like I, myself, would be offended by that. If everybody thinks the same, has been fear-mongered into thinking the same way, living the same way, then yes, that's a plantation, because how in the world were so many slaves who outnumbered their slave masters continuing to be slaves? It happened because they were fearful of doing something different. So when we say that Democrats are on this Democratic plantation, specifically talking about Black people, it's because, yes, you guys are all blindly following a leader and you're scared to do something different. Additionally, to think that somebody like myself, who can clearly articulate their points, their opinions, their life experience that have led them to support certain candidates, it's very interesting that somebody would demean C-SPAN for having a guest like me on TV. There's plenty of people who think, act, and wish that a voice like mine had a bigger platform. So it's unfortunate that people like that feel like we should be silenced.
All right, let's talk to Ladley in Marietta, Georgia. Democrat, good morning.
Yes, I did not know that you knew Candace Owens. Because she's pretty much been outcasted by the right because of her stances on Israel. But anyway, you will have a good job at Fox News at some point. I guarantee you that. And the things you point out on the Democrats, for their failures, you're absolutely right on some of the things. The Democrats fall short, but at least we try. The Republican policies are just the complete opposite, okay? The last thing I want to say, they're never going to let you in the club, okay? And you, like the movie Django, you are the character of Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know the exact, terminology.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to talk about a video that is a perfect example of the liberal white racism that is alive and well, okay? This is something that the mainstream liberal media claims does not exist, okay? They don't talk about the racist white liberals and how they think about black people, how they treat black people, and what black people have to deal with in the form of racism from white liberals, okay? But they always want to talk about the so-called racism from people on the right, okay? White conservatives, even though I do not think that white conservatives are racist, okay? Wanting equal rights and wanting equality in regards to how people are treated, that is not a form of racism, okay? But when you talk about treating a certain group of people as if they must vote for Democrats and that they must support your movement or your cause, or else you aren't actually really black, or that you are selling out, which is something that black liberals say as well too. And apparently white liberals have become emboldened enough to say this in public. Yeah, that is a form of racism, hatred, and bigotry, okay? But I'm pretty sure CNN and MSNBC will not be boohoo whining and crying over this clip right here of a Trump supporter, a black conservative woman, again, a black woman who you're not supposed to say anything negative about, right? Except, again, if you are conservative, you lose all of that, okay? You lose all of that, those superpowers that you get when you're a black liberal woman and nobody can criticize you. When you are a black conservative woman, white liberals can say whatever they want. And that's what they did to Miss Michaelah Montgomery, who was taking questions, taking calls on C-SPAN from voters. Okay, she was answering questions. Okay, and as a Trump supporter, clearly she's going to support Trump. And a lot of these white liberals really did not like that, to the point where, again, they were levying racial attacks against her. And Miss Michaelah Montgomery is going to do an amazing job of pushing back with facts. Okay, she's going to calmly school these white liberals without getting super upset, while remaining calm. And I think that is the best part of this clip, because this is how you deal with ignorance, right? Facts are how you deal with ignorance. So without further ado, let's get into it.
never going to let you in the club, okay? And you like the movie Django, you are the character of Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know the exact terminology, but not like Uncle, like you were a complete sellout.
First of all,
wow. Again, it's amazing, right? Again, this form of overt racism, okay, it never gets called out from the left, right? When white people do it to black folks, okay, black conservatives, it never gets called out. Never gets called out. This type of stuff should not be acceptable. But you know why acceptable? You know why these people feel so emboldened to do this? Because this is what black liberals do. This is how black liberals treat black conservatives. So white liberals feel like, oh yeah, well, I guess we can do that too, right? It is right to levy these types of racist attacks against a black woman, okay, if she's conservative. But again, if she was a liberal, if she was a Democrat, this would never be acceptable.
It sounded like that was a non-black person telling me that. So as a Democrat, that sounds pretty racial and pretty divisive. Next, it's very interesting that I, again, would be called names or be compared to fictional characters because of who I choose to support. Again, these people who are calling and making these derogatory statements about me, who I choose to support, are denying the fact that, again, who are you to tell me that my personal experience is invalid? I think that that's something that a lot of Democrats need to look within, because how have you tried? Kamala Harris is in office right now and has not tried to do anything about the border, has not tried to not tax people on tips, and has not tried to do anything about our failing education system.
In fact, yeah, she's done the exact opposite in regards to the border and the tax on tips. No, she's tried to tax people on their tips. This is documented. She casted the tie-breaking vote for it. That's why it's so ridiculous that the one good policy that she does have on the economy, she stole it from Trump, and she tried to do the exact opposite as vice president, right? Again, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. When it comes to the border, yeah, she's not closing the border. She opened up, she made it worse, okay? She made the border crisis worse because she's a far left extremist. So not only is she not doing anything about it, but she's actively trying to make it worse. That is the truth.
So everything that she's promising she can do for you on day one, she could do right now, but she's not trying to. So that's something just, for some Dems to take home.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I would like to address my comment to Mrs. Montgomery. If she doesn't know how she's in her current station of life based on resources or housing taxes or just her luck of the draw, I agree, you're not very smart. Thanks for taking my call.
Wait, Aaron, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Exactly. Let's sound smarter when we ask the question, please.
Well, yeah, you made a comment earlier when you were living in Nevada and you moved to Atlanta. I don't know if it was my resources in Nevada, because I guess they had pretty good school system.
Actually, we don't. Nevada was ranked very low when it comes to education. It just so happened that our government allocates our dollars better. But go ahead.
Well, but initially you said you didn't know if you were smarter, but if you think resources
in regards to how I feel my level of intelligence is in relation to the people that I've met out here.
Yeah, Michaelah, let him finish. Go ahead, Aaron.
I'm sorry for talking while you're interrupting. Well, you go ahead. Carry on.
I think I understand what you're getting. You heard my sentiments earlier in which I said I moved out here, and I don't want to say that I feel like I'm smarter than anybody else, but was it the resources that were allocated to me? Was it the fact that I got lucky with amazing teachers? Nevada ranks very low on education. So let's not act like, oh, all of a sudden I'm not smart. No, I noticed that even with Nevada being ranked so low in education, I felt like the quality of education that I received was much better than the ones that kids are receiving out here.
Out the property taxes.
Okay, property taxes. So are you telling me that with all the black wealth that exists here in Atlanta, with all the black millionaires that live here in Atlanta, why in the world do 92% of APS students are illiterate? Make it make sense. And we have Democratic mayors, we have Democratic city council members, we have Democratic commissioners, and for whatever reason, 92% of the kids here cannot read. That statistic did not exist in Nevada. So again, I don't know if it was the fact that I got lucky. I can't say that, oh my God, it's the teachers that suck out here. I would never demean our educators here in Atlanta. But what we can acknowledge is the numbers, sir. And so while you want to call me not smart, please tell me what your side has done to fix the illiteracy rate that we see in our black children? Absolutely nothing. And in fact, not only have they not done anything to address the illiteracy issue, but then they're further confusing their kids by confusing your kids by telling them that men can give birth, by telling them that there's 53 genders, and that by telling them that your love for your best friend must mean that you are gay, you are a pansexual, asexual. Kids under the age of anything high school should not be thinking anything sexual, period. Sexual should not even be in their vocabulary. So for you to say that I'm not smart because I'm willing to call out all of the degeneracy that exists within our current education system only points to your lack of intelligence and your lack of initiative to actually do something in regards to saving our children and saving our schools.
All right.
Wow. Wow. This is amazing. She's a superstar. She's a superstar. Yeah, that's how you deal with racism, right? That's how you deal with racism, right? People say, oh, you never call out the racism that happens towards black people on my channel, right? This is what they say, okay? Well, here you go. Okay, anybody that wants the example of me calling out racism towards a black person, right? Here you go, okay? Just send them a link to this video, okay? Because this is how you deal with it. She didn't boo-hoo, whine, and cry. She didn't melt down. She just stuck to the facts. Here are the facts. Democrats are failing, okay? They're failing our children. They're failing this country. And you guys continue to line up and vote for it while at the same time pointing the finger at the other team, at the other party, in which, hey, by the way, when Trump was in office, the country was in much better shape, right? But you want to look down on black people who decided, you know what, we're not going to continue to go along with the current agenda of the Democrat Party. When black people have been going along with this for decades now, and what have black people gotten out of it? What has America gotten out of it? Right? That's a better question. Okay, what has America gotten out of putting these Democrats in office? Okay, I'm just saying this is something that people really need to think about when they go to the voting booth. Take your emotions out of it. What has the Biden administration accomplished over the last few years that has made your life better? There's not a lot of things I can think of off the top of my head, if anything. So, again, shout out to Michaelah Montgomery for schooling these white liberal Klansmen while remaining calm, okay, and cool and collected, right, and doing it with facts and logic. Yeah, this is how you handle racism, right, from the left, okay, because a lot of these people, a lot of these white liberals, this is how they feel. Never forget the Democrat Party was founded as the party of slavery, of racism, of hatred, of division. And this is what they continue to push in our society today while claiming that, oh, we changed, right? That's not us anymore. Okay, we don't do that. But when they get an opportunity, you see here, okay, anonymously, they show you that, yeah, that's exactly who they are. They're the same party that they've always been and that they've never changed, okay? This is still the party of the KKK, the Democrat Party, and white liberal racism, and you just saw it there on display. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.